fine psychos, angry cousins, and bitter best friends. This is the Ambitions After Show.
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Oh my God, it is lit today. We have new lights, y'all. Well, they probably not new. They new to me. Hey. Hi, everybody. Oh, my God. Okay, we just about to do this. I love it. All right. Hey. I'm Deeran Anderson-Hooper, personal growth influencer, as well as business etiquette coach. And I am here. Woo! I'm here by myself today. They let me in here by myself, so we're about to take it off the rails. AJ is not here today, but she'll be here back next week as the moderator. So until she comes back, you have me. Yay! So I know last week we didn't do an after show, so we're going to do 14 and 15 this week. And I'm going to catch up on 14 and really dive into 15. So last week on episode 14, which was Thanksgiving, we learned that Joaquin was rescued. Woo! Thank God. Somebody died. The boyfriend ended up getting killed because he was stupid. Amara discovered Damian's secret cameras, which he should have known that. Stephenie learned about Evan's affair with Bella, which this proves, because this was a big controversy throughout the panel for this whole season, of did Stephenie know? So Stephenie did not know. I was very surprised by her reaction, but she found him because he left his cufflinks. You left the cufflinks, man. Darcia throws Rondell and Evan a curveball and ends up owning 2/3 of Thelma's place because her daddy loaned Senior $50,000 in the 70s. I don't know what black man had $50,000 in the 70s, but her daddy must have been doing something right that he loaned him that, and then the Senior couldn't pay him back. So now his daughter Darcia owns 2/3 of the place. Perla meets with Irene and her SUV at the end. And we find out that she was working for Irene, we think. And it ends with Irene saying, "Is it my fault you can't follow instructions?" Dun, dun, dun. That is episode 14. Now, bring us up to 15. My overall thoughts of 15. Damian is fine. Okay? The crazier he gets, for some reason, just the more finer he looks. I don't understand. I know he's psycho, but it's just something about the psychoness that's just so sexy. Whew! Them lips, them eyes. Don't go to jail. Amara has become the most improved player. Oh my God, Amara! I know when Essence was here, and everybody knows how much Amara I've been riding her hard this whole season. But for some reason, she has emerged as the Phoenix and has really owned it and has really taken front and center, and I love it. She ain't holding no bar, and you know she ain't playing with his fine ass, and so it is what it is. And then Titus must be getting paid a lot of money, because he around there like Samuel Jackson in Django, and I don't understand. He is the token black guy, and I don't know why he's still around, so his bank account must be looking real good for him to be standing around. So that's my overall thoughts. But what I really want to talk to you guys about is Bella and Evan's son, we found out, was being kidnapped. And then we end up finding out not only was he kidnapped, he was kidnapped by Perla, and Mrs. Lancaster had something to do with it. This is like super crazy. I cannot understand. I think we have a tweet. What did it say? She ain't, you know, it says, well, damn.
You want me to read it out real quick?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's from Smitty from the middle at Smitty_1911. He says, well, damn, Perla, you are the absolute worst friend. First kidnapping, now sexing in her bed. #ambitions. And it's got a picture down low, a little gif, where the girl, she's saying she ain't right.
She ain't right. That's Portia. Portia, you know, she ain't right. She ain't right. Here's the thing. The thing that people really been sleeping on the mom, and I've been telling people that this whole time, is like the mother has something to do with this. I knew it. I thought it was kind of creepy that she was in bed once the security guard had found out that she had something to do with it, which I don't understand why nobody even thought that would happen. that she was like, call me Bella. He was like, call me Mr. Mayor. And it was kind of seductive. I'm not gonna lie, but also creepy. I don't know if you know there's a theme going on for today's show, sexy and creepy. But yeah, I was all here for it. The one thing I will say, though, is that this is a very key moment, teaching moment for people. You cannot be friends. Oprah says this. You cannot be friends with somebody who wants your life. That's just not possible. Jealousy happens and all these things. It's so bad. I think we have another one, too. Another tweet. We're going to have tweets all day. And it's the producer. He's going to, okay, come on. Tell us what we got.
Here we go. It's from Co Christie. She says, every Tuesday night, #ambitions has my blood pressure up. I don't know how much of this I can take. And then there's a gif where a lady's falling back.
This too much.
Saying, this too much.
This too much. It is. I mean, it's just like, okay, if you really think about it, Evan had the mistress with the dominatrix. She about to get killed in about 2 seconds. He had Bella was another mistress, and she had tried to set him up. Stephenie found out that he got a baby he don't even know yet. He's about to probably go to jail because Amara's on his back. I mean, what else can we name? His mama is shady as hell. Okay, his mama's shady. His daughters told him she was gay and then left because she was mad she couldn't take it no more. I mean, I really do feel for Evan. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Oh, we in the live chat. It says Perla and her consistent jealousy. Perla was never a friend, and mother knew it, and that's why she was used. However, you have to know the person wants your life. Yes. Okay. So this going back to what I was saying earlier about you can't be friends with somebody who wants your life. That is true. You have to know they want your life. Perla is very jealous. Is very, very jealous of Bella, and that's very, very obvious to the point where it's like almost painfully obvious that she wants her, that she kind of wants her life, I guess, type of situation. I think this is why she's kind of mad at Evan. If you notice throughout the episode, her and Evan Lancaster kind of had this like tit for tat relationship. I really think she's actually in love with him. I think that she would have sex with him if she could, especially if he would call her Bella, clearly because she was getting her back cracked in Bella's bed. It was just like, who does that? Who does that? And so that was very interesting as well. And so, that brings me, I think, do we have another tweet?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Here we go. This tweet is from Tina Snow. She says, well, damn, that was sad to watch. She want to be Bella. Hang on 1 second. I was just drinking a drink. You caught me.
We laugh.
So she said, well, damn, that was sad to watch. She want to be Bella so bad you want to be called her name in bed and have sex on her bed, ? #ambitions.
I guess if you're going to do crazy, do it up. That's your best friend or you claim to be your best friend, you take her kid to the park and all this stuff, and then you like, I always want to have sex in her bed. It comes off crazy. In the live chat, somebody says it's not obvious to Bella, so it's hard to see. I think, this is what I think. I think you always know something ain't right, though. I do agree with you that, it's hard. You have to know a person wants your life, but you know that there's something not right with the situation. I think she's probably even more blind because she even told Perla about the kidnapping and to her mom, which her mom was super upset about, which I truly agree with the mom. I think, in live chat says, I think Bella is beginning to see things based on the fact that Perla spilled the beans. Yes, I think she kind of messed up there. And we as humans have a tail switch. I do believe that because our souls were meant to be pure, this is my thoughts, is that any garbage that we have, which could be ill will, ill feelings, all that stuff, is going to come out regardless. Whether it's consciously or subconsciously, it's going to come out. And so I think Perla, that was kind of one of her I have to get this garbage out of here, because she does not, I don't really think she likes Bella. I think she's more jealous with her. And this is a very, a good example. Before I moved here to Los Angeles, it's so crazy. I was getting prayer, and when the minister said, be careful who you hang around, because everybody might flock to you, but people also flock to a fire, and some people are just there to watch it burn. So be careful. Next, that brings me to my homegirl, Darcia. Boom, 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 boom. She's thinking about selling to Greg Peters. Mara was here last week, who plays Garcia, Mara Hall. She was here the week before last. And the thing is, I think we have a tweet for this, right?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
All right, here we go. It's from Mala. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that last name because I might destroy it. Gasp. Darcia did not just call Inez a broke-ass Rosie Perez and fire all the Thelma's employees. Somebody needs to beat this woman's ass. Get her, Rondell. #ambitions.
#ambitions. Okay, so here's the thing. I agree with Darcia. This may be a off the popular opinion viewpoint, but excuse me. I agree with Darcia. I think if you look at it I don't agree with how Darcia is going about it. I do not agree with how Darcia is going about it. But I do view it from her standpoint. If my dad gave your dad $50,000 in the 70s, that's probably like how many hundreds of $1,000s right now, and the loan was never repaid, I am due that. That is mine. That is for me, because that $50,000 could have been in my college education, could have been something that could have been saved for me. And so I would even just think that they would even want to pay her that money back. The fact that when she first brought it up, even though she brought it up kind of shady, Darcia, I see you. Even though she brought it up kind of shady, they should have offered like, hey, let's pay you this money versus trying to fight her immediately. But then again, she did bring it up in the kind of the worst time possible. But I see it from Darcia's point. I do think Darcia should own a part of it. I don't think she should own 2/3 of the business. I think that was crazy. But I do think maybe 1/3. She should definitely own 1/3. And then this is one of the things where you have to be careful how you treat people because you never know how it's going to come back to you. In the show, she mentioned how when she was on hard times and she reached out to the Lancasters, her cousins, which is Mayor Lancaster and Braley, and they turned her back, or she felt that they turned her back on her. And now it's her turn to get what's rightfully hers, and she's going about it full throttle. I don't necessarily know. We can always play the what if game, though. I don't necessarily know she would probably go about it this hard if she had her family support, or if she felt like her family had her back, and she really felt like that they were family. Would she go this hard? But if somebody, left you high and dry, wouldn't spit on you if you was on fire, and that it has come back to now you have the upper hand, I don't think that you would probably be the nicest about going about it as well. So this to me was another good example about how you should treat people, how you want to be treated. Family is everything. You need to help them out when you can. Maybe don't, bail them out, but just be there for them. So when times like this happen, they got your back, and they don't have 2/3 of your company. That's all I got to say. But
I agree.
Thank you. Darcia versus Perla. I think I saw the conversations online, and all of you guys were comparing them too. I think that these two are very different, even though they are antagonistic. I think the reason why Perla and Darcia is very different is because Darcia really is going after what she feels is hers. Perla is going after somebody else's stuff. Right? So those, I think the intention behind their motivations is a lot different. Though they're both scandalous, not going to deny that. Darcia's coming from a place of this was mine, this was taken from my means, it was not paid back to my family, and you guys left me high and dry. I'm coming back to get what's mine. I totally understand that. Perla is like, you got some bomb pussy, we can say that, right? A vagina. And I'm coming after you, and I'm jealous because you got all these things, and I wanted to, and I'm gonna kidnap your baby. And so I think that the motivation behind going about it is totally different. So though they're both antagonistic, the intention is a lot different. I can almost kind of see Darcia's, but I can't see Perla's, if that makes any sense. Hope so. The protest at Purifoy. We have a tweet for that.
Yeah, we do. Oh, my goodness. This is from Habu. Titus is so conflicted at work. #ambitions.
What he said is not funny. It's the gift, because he got it from, what is this from? What is this gift from?
Oh, I do not know. I'm blanking right now.
Oh, my. Get out. That's the Oh, this is so funny. So I can't even think right. So yes, this is what I was saying earlier. Titus must be getting paid a lot of money because let me tell you something. You working for this corporation. It's clear as day that you the token black person here, and it's already like kind of like, do they not like black people? Maybe they like black people. I don't know. And then email link out that's leaks that says he wants to actively target, that Mr. Purifoy wants to actively target poor black people to exploit them, get money, and then he don't care if they die. Whoa, sir. Why are you still there and you're a black African-American man? I don't understand. He must be paying you top dollar. I mean, that's the only way I could be there because money talks. I ain't gonna lie. You can pay me some money. But other than that, I don't understand why he there because you still in a small house with Amara, still fooling around with that. So I don't understand why he's still there. That's one of the things that I really don't get. But I do think that he believes, as he said earlier, that there is a little bit more there and he wants to discover it. I don't know if that's worth you getting paint thrown on your suit that you when you walk into the office, as well as getting, pill bottles thrown at him. I think that was a bit much. I do agree with people's right to protest. I've always agreed with people's right to protest, no matter if it's Kevin Kaepernick or whomever, as long as it's peaceful. I think once you start doing the whole like throwing paint, that's why I don't agree with PETA's tactics or antics. Once you start invading somebody else's personal space because they do not agree with you, that becomes an issue. You're no longer respecting their rights because you want them to respect your rights. That makes no sense. So I don't think that the protesters should have thrown paint on him or threw the medication bottles on him just because he was still there. But I do think that he needs to understand how that looks to the community and how Mr. Purifoy can possibly be taking that, because if he comes out with this thing and says, let's target black people, but I got my black person, my number one black right-hand black person still gonna stick next to me, maybe it's not that bad. It kind of confuse the person. On the other hand, the email was 20 years ago. I know we're in a cancel culture society for stuff that's been brought up about 40 years and 50 years ago and, in different ages, different eras when the mindset was different. We have to give people time and room to grow. If somebody was to dig back into your skeletons 2, 3, 5, 10 years ago, would it be all peaches and roses? Would it be something that maybe you didn't like? And I know people say, well, that's not that. Who are you to judge? 2 wrongs don't make a right. You are never, when you have done something wrong, you are never, ever in the position to say your wrong was less than the other person's wrong. You waive that right to ever do something like that. And so because of that is why people say you should not throw stones if you stay in a glass house, because technically we all stay in a glass house. We've all done something or have some imperfections, and so we have to give people room to grow and breathe. People do need to pay for what they did. He definitely needs to pay for what he has done. If he really did target the black community, send money, help, maybe change his messaging and all that type of stuff. But to think that the company needs a tank or anything like that, and to kind of negate all of the good the company has done because of the bad, I think is really bad, not wise. We have to come to the place in time to understand that a person's good does not outweigh their bad, and a person's bad does not outweigh their good. I think a lot of people view good and bad as goes like this on one line. The more good you do, the less bad. The more bad you do, the less good. I think people view that when really they're on 2 separate lines. Sometimes you could have a lot. You could do a lot of good in one season and also a lot of bad. Does that make you a bad person? Does that make you a good person? Or maybe it just makes you human. How about that? And so I think that this is one of the times to where we can see, that maybe give him a little bit of room. I do not think he's fully evolved from that. But I do think he's growing. And like Titus has said, the company has done so much good for the African-American community. So you might want to look at stuff like that. But I do think they need to pay. They do, because you have to pay for your mistakes. Bella and Ignacio. We come to find out that Valentina did not even see Bella's, I'm drawing a blank. Her clothes, her clothes, and that Ignacio kind of has been playing. He's kind of the getting the short end of the stick. Valentina has Alzheimer's, and Evan tells Bella that. Now Evan tells her this when she finds out she was sleeping with him. Come on now, Evan, you know you knew that. And then she's gonna say, well, how did you talk to him? It must have been one of her. Evan gonna say it must have been in one of his good moments, one of her good moments. Boy, bye, boy, bye, boy, bye. You knew she was crazy, and you knew she was losing her memory, but you wanted to shut Bella up and give her something, so you put the sidekick son out there, and now you mad the sidekick son is overstepping his boundaries in the bedroom while your baby got kidnapped. And now you trying to just, tell her what it is. I don't agree with that. Amara going to Damian's... Amara ended up going to Damian's hotel. When she showed up, a part of me was kind of mad. I mean, I was just like, you wanted a restraining order and wanted him against you and pushing him back, when he was all types of crazy, but now you think he in bed with Stephenie. Now you like, oh, let me come here on an off-cuff visit. He was trying to come over here there on an off-cuff visit too when you was in the bathtub, but he got arrested. I don't understand what you doing. And we're going to follow by the books and be all, play by the rules. But I'm also talking because I think he is fine. And there's really no wrong he can do. Tell you the truth. I'm just not going to lie. Okay? He's real fine to me. Did I say he was fine? I hope I said he was fine. But I think he is psycho. This scene proved that he was... Absolutely, he had something wrong with him. He said, your husband has brainwashed you. I'll do whatever I need to do to get you back. All this stuff after she didn't had him set up to be arrested. It's like, boy. And then he goes to Stephenie at the end. And, Stephenie's scared, clearly, because she done got an untamed lion. And he says he ain't going nowhere. And he going to end up with Amara. And he going to get his life back. I don't know how he going to do that and how he think Amara going to want him. But he thinks so. And part of me is just like, ooh, I would love somebody to love me that intensely. That would be so just, I can't do nothing go out. I say that until I get it. I'm just joking. But, one of the things about this whole story, this whole scenario, is that it really shows you why cheating is a bad thing. Because it's a Pandora's box. It opens up so many other things and attributes. It's really crazy. So that's why you should not cheat, because cheating really does open up a Pandora's box. So if you're thinking about it, don't do it. We have some live chat. Okay, it says, Evan is so shady. Bella needs to move on with her life. What? Wait, hold on. Simone, no. She's staying in Evan's loft, and he had to tell her that immediately, right? She was like, get out of my loft. He said, my loft, and don't you forget it. She been pushing her buttons this whole time. Her only saving grace while she got a roof over her head is because she had a baby. That's it. Felicia said, Damon is as attractive as a box of scorpions. Is scorpions attractive? I ain't never seen one in real life. I'm hoping that they're attractive. Because if they are, I understand. And if they not, girl, shut your mouth. She said, yeah, Amara opened the door for Damian to come through. Yes, I agree. This is what happens. This is when you start playing around with fire and temptation and stuff like that, you ain't got time. You can't say what you like or dislike and all that type of stuff. It's just going to come in. Crazy is crazy. So, I have a special segment. Woo!
There's a sound effect. I got some music prepared for you, though.
Okay, let's do it again. I have a special segment. Yay! I love that. Okay. So, we also have a tweet, right? Can you read off the tweet for us?
Yeah, let's do it. This is from Will Packer. This young lady started off as an intern at my company. Tonight is her #ambitions directorial debut. Cece, your tenacity and drive is unmatched, and I couldn't be more proud of your ascent in this industry. Congratulations. At CC Story House. Clap, clap, clap. It's showtime. Let me scroll down. Let's see the picture. Yeah.
Yay, CC! I don't know her, but good for her. That was some good music. Thank you. Oh my gosh. That was awesome.
Yeah.
So this picture really sparked some thought for me that this young lady, she started off as an intern at Will Packer Productions and end up becoming a director. And what I really wanted to talk to you guys about is how to chase your own ambitions, okay?
Let's get it.
The first is 3 ways that I believe that you can, 3 steps you could take to chase your own ambitions. First, you have to trust that your gift will make room for you. The thing that you have that's inside of you that makes you who you are. There is a Dr. Seuss quote that says, "You are youer than you." That is truer than true. There's no one alive who is youer than you. You have to believe that. You have to believe that your God-given talents and dreams and desires and gifts will make room for you. It will open up doors that need to be opened. When you're in a space, it will shine a light on you when it's necessary, not when it's convenient. I think if you understand that, and play into that, that's one of the first steps that you could take to go into to chase your own ambitions. To be able to do that, though, you have to know what your gift is. So a lot of people try to chase external things: fame, money, husband, wife, all these type of external factors. First, you have to understand who you are. You have to be able to understand what your gifts is, what you bring to the table. I do believe when your personality meets your gift is really when you start to see maximum potential and growth and gain. And so that's something I would say. That's the first thing. The second thing is, I'm a spiritual-based person, but you don't have, even if you're not a spiritual-based person, you can still apply this, where it says, faith without works is dead. To believe in something or have faith, but not put work behind it, goes nowhere. I believe having the belief/faith and putting it in the works is what creates ambition. Sometimes we sit and we're like waiting, the Lord gonna do it, or universe gonna bring it, or this is gonna happen, but we don't put any work in. What faith and belief really is that I'm going to step out and not know what happens, and I am just gonna make it. I'm just gonna make it, right? And if not, I'll be okay. Not I'm gonna wait for a sign. I'm gonna wait for the universe to tell me. I'm gonna wait for it to line up. That's logic. That's not belief, and that's not faith. Oprah says, there was a quote she had said at the Essence Festival, I believe. She said, "You don't get what you wish for. You don't even get what you hope for. You get what you believe." So you have to believe it, right? Belief and works is what equals ambition. The third and final thing is you have to believe. Ding, 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 ding. I keep saying that. You have to believe. But a lot of people always, when I tell this, a lot of people ask, how do you get to belief? If I'm just starting out, how do you get to that place? And the thing is, to have belief is manifested through momentum. Momentum comes from movement. Movement is done by action. So if you're just starting out and you want to chase your own ambition, you have to take action. You don't have to worry in the beginning. You don't have to worry about the belief. You don't have to worry about what's going to happen. You just have to move. If you want to be a writer, director, actor, singer, dancer, pie maker, stripper, whatever, you just have to move and just say, I'm just going to do it. Regardless if I believe it, if I don't believe it, if I have bad thoughts, if I have good thoughts, maybe somebody said I'm the worst actor ever. I'm still just going to try it, right? And the more action you start doing, creates the more movement. And the more moving you start doing, it starts to create a flywheel. It starts to gain momentum. And what happens is, as the momentum keeps going and you take a look back at who you were and how far you've come or how much you've progressed, then the belief starts to grow because you see how far you've just come from. Belief doesn't just happen overnight. Belief is not going to happen while you're sitting down on your couch. Belief is not going to jump at you in the face. If you want to chase your own ambitions, you have to believe. You have to believe. But to do that, you have to take action. So make sure you just take action. And that is the special segment, How to Chase Your Own Ambitions. Hope that was really great for you guys. Before we leave, though, I'm going to do a predictions. So. Ooh.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
My predictions. Perla gonna get caught, girl. I think Perla gonna get caught. Perla gonna rat out Stephenie's mom. I think it's gonna really unravel. I think she's gonna rat out Stephenie's mom. I think her and Bella gonna get into it because it's gonna come to a head. But I also think that Darcia is going to get what's rightfully hers, but I think they're going to make amends. I think Darcia's just hurt right now in the way she's going about stuff, but I do think Darcia, Evan, and Brayley is the actress. Darcia, Evan, and Brayley's character are going to come together because they're family at the end of the day. I think that Amara is going to get Greg Peters. I do think Amara's going to get Greg Peters, but I think the parents are going to start coming in a little bit more at a time. We start seeing the mama. She's speaking her head up a little bit. I think don't underestimate Purifoy's mom. She was there a little while ago. I think we're going to see, I can't wait to see Greg Peters' dad. I think Greg Peters' dad is going to show his face because he's been this like shark that's kind of in the background that we don't see at all, that we just keep hearing talk about. But I think he's going to have to show up, and I think that we're going to see that happen. And so, but there's one more thing in the live chat that I want to see. Stephenie is going to regret bringing Damian to Atlanta. I do think she's going to, that's going to be my predictions as well, that she's going to regret that. And it says, Felicia says, I want Darcia to continue to check Rondell. Rondell is working a nerve. I think that if Rondell was to take a step back and not be so caught up in her anger, she would see it from Darcia's space and be able to reason with her versus coming back and hitting her, because if it was her dad gave $50,000, you would want yours too. So that's what I would say. But until next time, that's the end of our show. If you like us, if you like what I've said, and you like everything here, make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel. And I love you guys. Until next time.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.